Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to learn about using models to divide decimal numbers by whole numbers. So for our problem of the day, I want you to sit here and think for a second as we discuss what are the units for each of these problems. If I have 8 apples and I tell you to divide them by 2, how many apples do I have? I would have 4 apples. It doesn't matter that they're not all together. They are still apples. I didn't change them into oranges, right? So they're still apples. If I have 15 bananas and I divide them by 5, how many bananas now do I have? I have 3 bananas. If I have 20 sixths and I divide them by 4, how many sixths do I now have? 5 sixths. If I take 30 tenths and divide them by 10, I still have what as my unit? I still have tenths. And if I have 24 hundredths divided by 3, I'm going to have 8 hundredths. Now, something I want you to note or pay attention to is that each of these is divided by a whole number. So everything we're talking about today is about dividing a decimal by a whole number, not a decimal by a decimal by a whole number. So let's take a look at our first example, 8 tenths divided by 4. Let's think about it. What is this problem asking us to do? This problem is asking us to put 8 tenths into 4 equal groups. Now I can start off my thinking by drawing 8 tenths. And since we are dividing 8 tenths into 4 equal groups, each group is going to have 2 tenths. I thought about this by thinking, what is 8 divided by 4? And I know that that is 2, so that tells me that 8 tenths divided by 4 is going to be 2 tenths. So I take my 8 tenths and I divide them into 4 equal groups. So 8 tenths divided by 4 equals 2 tenths. Pretty easy so far. Let's go to our next problem. 35 hundredths divided by 5. So what is this problem asking us to do? It's asking us to divide 35 hundredths into 5 equal groups. Now we're not going to model this problem, but let's think about what a model might look like. If we were to divide 35 into 5 equal groups, how many would be in each group? Well, I could set it up like I would do our normal division problems. And 35 divided by 5 is 7. But we're dividing hundredths, so our answer would be 7 hundredths. And we're starting to see a little bit of a pattern too with our numbers before and after decimals too. I hope you're paying attention to that too. So here is our next problem. 4 and 8 tenths divided by 6. So what is this problem asking us to do? It's asking us to divide 4 wholes and 8 tenths into 6 equal groups. Can I split 4 wholes into 6 groups? Doing it with the holes that I have on my screen? No, I can't. But if I think about them as tenths, I can, because 4 wholes is the same thing as 40 tenths. So we can think about this problem as 48 tenths being divided into 6 equal groups. So what we did was we took our wholes. You can count them if you want, but this is 10, 20, 30, 40 plus 8 is 48. Now I'm dividing them into 6 equal groups. So if you watch, each of these groups now only has 8 in them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's our original group of 8. Now I took 2 away from each of our original groups of 10. That's where this 6th group of 8 tenths comes from. So 4 and 8 tenths divided by 6 equals 8 tenths. Now let's think. Our next problem is 2 and 7 tenths divided by 3. Again, we're not going to model this problem, but let's think about what a model would look like if we were to model it. What is this problem asking us to do? It's asking us to divide 2.7 into 3 equal groups. Can we divide 2 and 7 tenths, which is less than 3, into 3 groups? No, we can't. So how can we rename 2 and 7 tenths so that we can divide it into 3 groups? To 27 tenths, because remember, each whole is made up of 10 tenths. So I take that 2, multiply it by 10 to get my 20, and I still have my 7 tenths from my original 2 and 7 tenths. So what is 27 divided by 3? It's 9. So 27 tenths divided into 3 equal groups equals what? 9 tenths, which is our solution for this example, okay? Now, I want you to try working on these practice problems. You're going to see attached to this video an exit ticket for today, where I want you to put your answers for these practice problems. If you have any problems, comment down below and I will get to you as soon as I can. Have a great day, guys.